How's it going, everybody? This is JoyZofSoRRoW channel. I want to do something a little bit different today. I actually want to do a review of something. It's a knife review. The knife I'm going to be talking about is the Smith & Wesson Border Guard series, 2nd generation. It's a liner lock blade. Very, very, very chunky piece of metal, especially in the handle. Really, really solid clip. Now, if you'll notice, there's a few extra features on this knife. Got a glass breaker at the end here, loop for a lanyard. You got what's intended to be a seatbelt cutter, but I use it for cord, paracord, and twine and other things. Solid metal for the frame. This isn't, the grip piece here isn't actually, I don't want to say it's grip tape, because it doesn't feel like it doesn't feel at all like skateboard grip tape. It's a little bit bigger here, a little bit smaller here in certain areas. Blade's about 4.5 inches. Black coating on it, supposedly to protect it from rust. I don't fucking know. It's it was a 7C something high carbon stainless steel, which I can only assume is a lot better than the old 440C stainless. No promises there. I'm not an expert on that. It's got these cuts on the inside that I'm assuming that are just weight saving features. Now the tip, it's a tanto style tip, and what I really like about them is that they're very good piercers. And on this model here, there's no serrations. It's straight up, just flat edge. And now I've had one with serrations. I actually still have it on me. This one, I've had it for about 3 months. The replacement is pretty much the same thing. This is the old one. Now, this one I carried for about 3-4 years. As you can see, paint's been pretty much almost worn down. Pretty much carrying it in my pocket for that long. Again, clip, very strong. I mean, that's about as much give as you're gonna get from it. And yeah, for 4 years, it's pretty nice. And on this one, you'll notice on the blade, tanto tip blade, but serrated or partial serrations. You know, this part right here, about a little less than half of the blade serrated, and then the rest you got straight edge, and then you got the tanto tip again. Again, there's a cutoff. Now on this one, there's only one. I believe that's to save weight. Thumb stud on both of them. Again, liner lock. Liner lock basically means there's a metal lining piece that holds the blade in place. Oh, sorry about that. You pull back, and the knife recesses back into the blade. Now, no spring assistance. No spring assistance. New one, no spring assistance. You do everything by your thumb. Some of the things I want to point out that I really like about this knife is, one, the heft. There's a lot of knives out there that are going to be that are going to weigh less than half of the weight this thing has, and they'll be effective for most of what you need. I've just personally been always comfortable with a hefty knife. Now, the extra features such as the glass breaker, the seatbelt cutter, again, I use it for cord. For me, they actually tend to work out, because again, I can use this to cut cord. I can use this to cut boxes with those zip tie style package sealing. You just, give it a good tug, cut right through it. And the glass breaker, well, I haven't really needed it to break any glass or anything yet, but on this one right here, as you can see, it's this one's been a little bit dulled out, which pretty much I've used it as a bit of a bashing tool, and it works. The thing I want to point out is that they're cheap. Now here in California, we have a store called Big Five Sporting Goods. At least in Southern California, I don't know about Northern California. And when they're on sale, they can go as low as $12.99, $11.99. On the average, when they're on sale, they're about $14.99. So for $15, you can have a nice, useful, and pretty hefty, decent utility knife. And this would be great to keep in your car in case of an emergency. I'm assuming that's what the fuck the glass breaker was made in there for in the first place, and the seatbelt cutter. So again, obviously check with your state and local laws before you do anything like that. Again, clip is very solid on this. I showed you the other one. It's about 3 or 4 years old. Had this one for 3 months. Now the reason that I went to just regular blade instead of partial serration is serrated blades are a bitch to sharpen. They're just a fucking bitch to sharpen. And if I were to ever need the knife for some kind of real dire emergency survival and I need to sharpen it, and you know, you can sharpen a knife on concrete. It's gonna take you some fucking time, but you can do it. And it would just be a lot easier to sharpen a knife that just didn't have any serrations on it. So that's why I went that route. Obviously, you have different choices, and that's your prerogative whether it's useful for you or not. You know, to each. Now, I want to point out that Smith & Wesson is, the gun company itself is not personally involved in making these knives. What they do is these knives are practically made in China, and some company here in the US distributes them, and they go out and approach these companies and get their logos or permission for the logos in exchange for royalties or some other form of payment, and they agree, and that's why they are Smith & Wesson knives. You might even see these knives in other places in slightly different styles, you know, named something else. But I wanted to let you know that the company Smith & Wesson itself has really nothing to do with actually making these knives. Anyways, I'd like to thank y'all for watching. If you liked what you see, please hit that like button and subscribe. And I want to thank all my latest followers on Twitter. I've had to reset my Twitter account. I'm going to leave a link to that in the description box and at the end of this video. But I do appreciate all the good comments. I appreciate you watching.